On today's show, the Clippers are back. And what I mean by that is the injuries are rolling in. A lot to talk about in this one that led to a 117-106 loss to the Houston Rockets. What went wrong in the game? And are we okay in terms of injuries? Going to be talking about it all on today's Locked On Clippers.
You are Locked On Clippers, your daily Los Angeles Clippers podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Yes, sir. You were locking in with the Clips. Thank you for making Locked On Clippers the first listen of your day, your team every day. I'm your host, Darian Vaziri, born and raised in LA, and in my 20th season as a Clipper fan. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DimeDropperPod and subscribe to my own YouTube channel, Dime Dropper, where I went live directly after the game. And Locked On Clippers is free and available wherever you get your podcasts, including YouTube. I want you to let me know what you thought of the episode, or what you're going to think of the episode, what you thought of the game, and the injury situation. We're talking about that. We're talking about some of the performances that we saw in this game and why we ultimately lost. But before we do that, this episode is brought to you by FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Get started right now at FanDuel.com. You'll get started with $150 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. And also, Locked On Clippers now has a newsletter, a daily newsletter written by yours truly, and you can sign up for that for free at LockedOnDaily.com. That's LockedOnDaily.com, and start your day with the all-new free Locked On Clippers newsletter. All right, Clipper Nation, happy Monday, a start of a new week, and guess what? We had a large rest before this game against the Houston Rockets. We didn't play on Thursday, we didn't play on Friday, and we didn't play on Saturday. But we found out that this would be the first game this season in which we didn't have James Harden. Groin was the reason he missed the game. They said he was ruled out because of that, and Ty Lue insisted that it was precautionary, but if there's anything that I've learned from the Clippers and injury reports the last couple of years, although they mainly are in regards to Kawhi, I wouldn't believe everything that Ty Lue says. And here's the thing about James Harden that makes me a little bit curious, is that he had a pretty good rest. We have several days of rest after this game. You know, we don't play on Monday. We don't play on Tuesday. We don't play on Wednesday or Thursday. We literally have 4 days off because of the in-season tournament festivities. Our next game is against Denver, in Denver on Friday. So maybe the medical staff is like, look, James Harden deserves a rest. He's played every game this season. If we give him this rest, that means he goes over a week, without a game, which is an extended rest, which is something that he could really benefit from. And James Harden's not the type of guy that would request to sit out. You know what I'm saying? He's the type of guy that said back in the day, I don't know what load management is. I love to hoop. And that's one thing I'll always respect about James, is that he truly loves playing basketball. And he's not saying that Kawhi doesn't, but Kawhi's had more injury issues. All I'm saying is that James Harden is the opposite end of the spectrum, in the sense that, people say Kawhi doesn't play and all that, which, he's had his injury problems, but James Harden, he's always been available. And in those Houston years, he rarely missed games. You look at his whole run with Houston, 2013, 78 games, 2014, 73 games, 2015, he literally only missed 1 game, 2016, he didn't miss 1, 2017, he only missed 1. So in the 3-season span in which he became an MVP candidate, 2015-16, the Rockets were so bad that Harden wasn't in that discussion, but he was still like a top 5 player in the league to me, or like around that. Literally a total of 2 games missed in those 3 years. Then the following year, 72, and then the following year, 78. So then we had the load management era, so everything's changed, but he's the epitome of availability. So what concerns me a little bit is that, one, groins are tricky, and I can tell you because I've had groin injuries before, but Norman Powell after the game said, we need him. What he says on the floor, he has great leadership off the floor. Hopefully we get him back soon. Now, when he says hopefully we get him back soon, I hope that just means, that doesn't sound like, that doesn't sound like a guy who's healthy and that's precautionary. And the reason why I'm a little skeptical is because James Harden is pretty healthy. So I don't know. That concerns me a little bit, but I think he should be fine. He's got a week. He's got some time. But it wasn't just James Harden. Before the game, Amir Coffey couldn't play in this game because he had a shoulder contusion. I mean, I don't know how that happened. Right shoulder. And then Mo Bamba wasn't playing because I guess his knee injury. They're still like being cautious with him. But like, how many days off have we had? Like, he should be playing. And then Derrick Jones Jr. got injured in the game. So, and we're already down Terrence Mann and Kobe Brown as well. So our wing depth was really tough. And even though James Harden didn't play, and I've said so many times this season that if we don't have James Harden, I don't see how we can stay afloat. Well, we're 0-1 now without him, but the performance itself actually wasn't that bad. If there's any takeaway out from this game is that it's that we fought. We didn't just go down without a fight. After the first quarter, we were only down by 2 points, 30-28. And we did that with Norman Powell shooting terribly. Norm had so many good looks tonight. And, of course, without James Harden, that's going to put a lot more of an onus on him to create. And he's not really that guy. I mean, he did have 4 assists. But, when you're putting the onus on Norm to create, it's a lot of him getting downhill and making plays for other guys. And we shot 11 for 34 from 3 today as a team, or on Sunday as a team. So it wasn't just 32%. That wasn't going to cut it. Rockets shot 37%, and they made some tough shots. And the thing about the Rockets is, in my opinion, they're the most athletic team in the league that I've seen so far this season. They have guys like Amen Thompson, Tari Eason, who didn't play in this game. And they didn't have Fred VanVleet. I want to include that just because I don't want to feel like I'm only doing it one-sided. But they didn't have Fred VanVleet or Tari Eason. But they still have Jabari Smith, who's a 6'10 guy with a lot of length and mobility. And then you've got Jalen Green, who can jump out the gym. Dylan Brooks, who's really strong and has good hands. And then you also have, of course, Amen Thompson, who is an absolute freak. And what I realized is that, we didn't have any wings left. That's the truth. We didn't have any wings, just Nico. And we had a lot of moments in this game where we had a lot of guard-heavy lineups. And in the second quarter, Ty went with a lineup of Bones, KPJ, Norm, and Chris Dunn with Zoo. And, I mean, the Rockets, because without Fred VanVleet, the only guy that was considered like a small guard is Aaron Holiday. Other than that, they either have guys that can expose us down low, can just overpower us, or crash the offensive boards. And I think the main reason we lost was because of that. We struggled to get stops. Even on good defensive possessions, they would hit tough shots. Like Jalen Green had one of those games that he just looks like a star. And he's one of those guys that he'll have a 6 for 17 game the next game. But he looked like an absolute star in this game. 31 points on 9 for 20 shooting. Some of his acrobatic finishes around the rim are almost like Jordan-esque. And then Dylan Brooks was making like step-back fadeaways from 18 feet. I was off the dribble. I'm just like, what? Well, step back has to be off the dribble, so what am I saying? 19 points, 7 boards, 5 assists. Like, this dude was just hitting 4 for 8 from 3. And then Amen Thompson is not known as a shooter. He went 9 for 14 in this game. 22 points. And then Aaron Holiday had 11 points in the game. The dude is averaging 4 points. So they had a very good shooting game, and some of it was good defense, better offense. But where we, to me, made our lives so much harder is that we didn't rebound. And I think that lineup to end the second quarter, it put us in a hole that we never quite could get back from. So I'm not blaming Ty Lue on the loss, but I think that 4-guard lineup, he got a little too cute. There was no reason to put Kevin Porter Jr. back in that game at the time. Jordan Miller was playing very well. Bones Hyland was playing very well. And I just thought you should have rocked it out, and you needed another wing out there. And we just went 4 guards. Kevin Porter Jr. took some bad shots. Bones and KPJ, they're not the best defenders. I think Bones was competing, but he's just so much smaller than some of these players in the Rockets that it makes us put 2 on the ball and overcompensate. And KPJ just kind of, at times lack of concentration and just bad decision-making. But I thought he didn't have a terrible game. I just think his process isn't good. I've said that so many times. But Bones and him, who's better? I mean, I'm going to talk about it coming up, but in my opinion, the overall theme is the rebounding. We did not get stops because they kept making shots, but our offense was not even as bad as I thought. We still scored 106 points even without James Harden, which in today's NBA is not too much, but it's the rebounding. Their athleticism was overpowering us. Their size was overpowering us, but there were also times but we just didn't do a good enough job boxing out. Ty Lue said after the game, we got out-scrapped tonight, and I couldn't agree more with that. And I think, yes, partially it's the lineups, but at the same time, the players have to take some pride and realize, look, we're down all these wings. We got to do a better job boxing out. We got to keep Amen Thompson off the glass. They failed miserably at that. Amen Thompson had 4 offensive rebounds in this game. No, I'm sorry, 3 offensive rebounds in this game. But 12 offensive rebounds for Houston, just 7 for us. And because they turned the ball over so much more than we did, that's one thing we did a very good job of, is taking care of the ball. We had just 7 turnovers to their 15. We shot 45%. They shot 49%. They shot 37% from 3. We shot 32% from 3. And we still shot 10 more shot attempts than them. But they out-rebounded us by 17 and got to the line 10 more times. So there you go. If you get 17 more rebounds than a team, it's very rare you're going to lose the game. Rockets win 117-106, but moral of the story, we were so depleted, and the Rockets are playing really good ball. I hate that they're better than us right now by 2.5 games, because I want to keep our pick this year, and if they're better than us, we're not going to get it. We're going to have to switch with OKC, and considering that they're one of the best teams in the league, that means a bottom 5 pick in the first round. But coming up, going to be talking about Bones and KPJ. What did I like? What did I not like? And what does it mean for them going forward? Going to be talking about that coming up. I got to tell you a little something about Mint Mobile. With big wireless providers, what you see is never what you get. Somewhere between the store and your first month's bill, the price you thought you were paying magically skyrockets. With Mint Mobile, you'll never have to worry about gotchas ever again. When Mint Mobile says $15 a month when you purchase a 3-month plan, they mean it. And the thing about Mint Mobile is they just don't have a store, so a lot of people don't know about them, but they are big time. I promote them on Dime Dropper as well. Mint Mobile is the move. It's the new wave. It's here to rescue you with premium wireless plans starting at $15 a month. All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with all your existing contacts. You can ditch overpriced wireless with Mint Mobile's deal and get 3 months of premium wireless service for $15 a month. To get this new customer offer and your new 3-month premium wireless plan for just $15 a month, go to mintmobile.com/LockedOnNBA. That's mintmobile.com/LockedOnNBA. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/LockedOnNBA. $45 upfront payment required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Speed slower, above 40 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. See Mint Mobile for details. All right. Clippers losing this one 117-106 at Intuit Dome. It was my 5th missed game of the season. Had a club tournament over at the old Mamba Academy, now it is the Sports Academy. And thankfully, my club team ended up winning both games. So that was really nice. It was also the first time in my life that I had the other coach trash talk me, not even my team, in the middle of the game. Because I was complaining about them getting the score wrong. But it was funny. I got the last laugh on that one. So thankfully, my kids, my players, shout out to them, made it all worth it for missing the game. And we're 2-3 without me at Intuit Dome right now. So all I'm saying is we're below 500 when I'm not there, and we're above 500 when I am there. So it's clearly me. Now, in all seriousness, 117-106. I'm not mad at the loss, but no rebounds, no rings is the theme. And part of that was the depleted size with us having no wings. But offensively, that should be the main problem without James Harden, right? And it definitely was a problem relative to what we usually have. But Bones and KPJ played pretty well. Now, KPJ still did some things that, as I say, can be a little frustrating. A lot of those tough shots, a lot of ill-advised shots. And those minutes at the end of the second quarter were just frustrating because I didn't like when he was playing alongside Bones. I just thought it was two of the same player. Two guys that want to create, that want to jack up shots. But Bones, I thought he was actually better in this game in the sense that he was getting downhill, more deliberate with his decisions, and he was knocking down that 3 ball. They both were making some decent reads in pick and roll. KPJ had 19 points. Bones had 22 points. KPJ had 2 rebounds. Bones had 3 rebounds. KPJ had 6 assists. Bones had 4 assists. And KPJ had 2 steals. Bones had 1 steal. They each had 1 turnover. KPJ shot 8 for 18 from the field, 2 for 5 from 3, and 1 for 2 from the foul line. And Bones shot 7 for 13 from the field, so very efficient, and 5 for 10 from 3 and 3 for 3 from the foul line. This was one of those games where Bones Hyland was like feeling himself. When he made that layup high off the glass in the second quarter, I was like, uh-oh, Bones is starting to get hot. And one of the threes he shot was like at the end of the shot clock, and like he had nothing to do. So there was nothing he could do, I should say. So for them, I mean, he was really like 7 for 12 to me. And it just makes me think, like, and maybe I'm being a prisoner of the moment, is KPJ really better than him? He's bigger. He's better defensively. Like, I don't think KPJ's actually been that bad defensively. Yes, he has some bad moments. Yes, the last couple of games he's played, he hasn't been great. But considering what I'd heard about him, I think he's had some good moments off the ball, getting in the passing lanes and moving his feet and just having better attention to detail than I figured he would have. So I actually don't think he's been bad defensively at all. And at the end of the day, we're 6th in defense, so it's not like anyone's been like a liability on that end of the floor. Even guys like James Harden, Norman Powell, that we were skeptical of coming into the season. But I don't know how much worse Bones actually is. He hasn't gotten an opportunity, but he's quicker for sure. It's just a matter of like, is Bones going to try to turn the corner and really get 2 feet in the paint? Or is he going to kind of just dribble around? We got him trying to get downhill in this game, making some good reads and pick and roll. And the thing about Bones is he can get really hot from 3 sometimes. He can get streaky. And it can change the whole building's energy. So, I don't know. Like, James Harden's going to come back, and does that mean Bones just goes back out of the rotation? Because when you see him get extended burn and you see, like, yes, he's flawed as well, right, in his own ways. But KBJ and him, like, they both have their flaws. And I don't know. Maybe Bones is better for this role. I don't know. I'm obviously pro Bones. He's been here longer. I feel like he's waited his turn. But maybe I'm being a prisoner of the moment. I want you all to let me know. Before I talk more about the injury situation and how concerned I really am, let's just talk about some other things involving the game. Just like last time we played these guys, Alperen Şengün was guarding Chris Dunn, and they had Jabari Smith guarding Zoo. So they were switching everything on those pick and rolls to prevent the pick and roll advantage. And they trust their bigger guards like the Amen Thompsons, the Dylan Brooks of the world to guard Zoo. If they feel like they need help, they'll double team. And I thought that was one thing that Zoo did a really good job of in this game. And he's consistently showing with more reps, he's going to get better at this, passing out of the double. He had some really solid passes out of that double team. And I thought this was a much better response from Zoo considering the last 2 times he played against Houston. But I think we should have, again, and I feel like I'm beating a dead horse with this, but I still feel like we should have fed him more. A game without James Harden and all these other guys, he shot 9 for 15. You know what I'm saying? He shot 60%. He had 21 and 12. You know what I mean? 2 blocks. 3 for 4 from the line. He was good. And no turnovers. And he's been, pretty turnover heavy some games. So I was very happy with that. I thought the fourth quarter we did the best job of throwing him entries and getting him involved more. But the Rockets' defensive strategy to put Şengün on Dunn is because they know that Chris Dunn is struggling with his shot. He's only shooting 25% from 3 or around that as a starter. I was told by one of my subscribers on Dime Dropper on Sunday night. But I thought Chris Dunn started out the game shooting really well. But then he kind of was passive and was not really keeping Şengün and the defense honest with the space he was being given. I thought when he was catching the ball and he was open, he was shooting it. But like off the dribble, he could have gone into the space. And there was one time he did in the second half and he missed a shot off the glass, but it was a good look. Even Jim Jackson thought so. So I thought that he was just being a little passive for me. And so I've got my eye on that with Chris Dunn. I think as great as he was defensively, 5 steals, like his anticipation is so good. His rotations are fantastic. Anytime someone tries to drive and he's in help at the top, he digs and it seems like he gets his hand on the ball every time. It's amazing. 9 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists, 5 steals for Chris, and 1 turnover on 4 for 10 shooting, 1 for 5 from 3 though. And between he and Norman Powell, they were 2 for 13 from 3. Throw Nico Batum in there, 2 for 15 from 3. And Nico, I thought he had some really good defense in the second half, but there were moments where he was guarding Şengün in the post where we're giving them a taste of their own medicine. And to me, and I know Şengün's a little mismatch, but they unnecessarily doubled at times. We did. And they were making shots. But again, Houston's not a great 3-point shooting team. But for whatever reason against us, this season, they've just shot very well from three. And Şengün is a great passer, so he's going to make the right reads. But like the Rockets right now are what? 26th in the league in three-point percentage. But like for whatever reason, they just do really well against us from three this season. I just thought we over-doubled at times. Let Nico guard and let Şengün beat us. But I get it. It's very easy to say in hindsight when they don't shoot well from three, but they just happen to make some shots in this game. And again, we made a little run, but Jalen Green's follow-away three, that kind of ended it. But yeah, Bones or KPJ? Is there really a difference between the two? Is there that much of a difference? Am I being a prisoner of the moment? And KPJ has more size. He's shown to be better defensively. Bones is quicker. Bones is a better three-point shooter. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Maybe who hurts the team less? That's honestly what I'm thinking of. Answer the question in the comments. But coming up, going to be talking about the injuries and maybe some finishing touches in the game, reading the box score. But how badly are we hurt? Is this something to be concerned about? Going to talk about it coming up. I got to tell you a little something about FanDuel. Get ready to tackle the NFL action with FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Because right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if you win. The FanDuel Sportsbook app gives you everything you need to place live bets on the NFL all in one place. So when you get a hunch in the middle of the game, you can check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you place your bets. Just visit FanDuel.com to join today. As far as the NFL odds for Monday night, Bengals, Cowboys. Bengals are -5.5. Rams, Niners. How about my Rams this weekend getting a win over the Bills? I couldn't even watch the game because I was at Sports Academy, but I will take it. Rams are +2.5 on Thursday at San Francisco. I'm telling you, I'm going Rams. Money line as well, because I'm just feeling some confidence in my Rams right now. And where can you go to do all this? FanDuel.com. You'll get started with $150 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. That's FanDuel.com. Never waste a hunch and make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. All right. Clippers losing this one 117-106 to the Rockets. We're now 0-3 against them this season. Before I talk about the injury situation, Derrick Jones Jr. only had 2 points in his 12 minutes. I talked about Zoo and his double-double. Norm, 17 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 2 turnovers on 5 for 18 shooting, 1 for 8 from 3, and 6 for 7 from the foul line. I think Norm was he just had a rough game, and if he was going to have a rough game without Harden, we probably weren't going to win against a team like this. And we went 9 deep. One of our guys, Nico, had 0 points. It was really 8 deep because Derrick Jones got hurt, and we definitely suffered without him. But yeah, one of the bright spots of this game, Kai Jones played a little bit, 2 for 2, 4 points in 11 minutes. Not much to say there. Jordan Miller, he had 10 points in the first half and ended with 12. His career high is 15. He played 32 minutes, had 12 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists on 5 for 12 shooting, and 2 for 4 from 3. So it was nice to see him knock down some threes, but I thought he honestly should have played 3 or 4 minutes. I mean, let's just look at that second quarter stretch where he came out of the game because, I mean, we were kind of cooking. You know what I mean? Let's see. Jordan Miller, it was 41-40 at one point. And then Kevin Porter entered. It was a 3-point game with 3 minutes and 23 seconds left in the second quarter. 49-46 Houston. Kevin Porter Jr. enters the game, and at halftime we're down by 12. So it was a -9 in that stretch. And I just thought, I don't know if that was necessary, or even if you put what's his name back in, KPJ, give him a couple minutes burn, and then let's get Jordan Miller back in. But I get it. It was only 3 minutes and 23 seconds left. But I just think the 4-guard lineup was just naive. But anyway, you live and you learn. I don't think even with, just because I say that doesn't mean that we would have won had he not done it, Ty Lue. But the injury situation. So, by the way, I was just disappointed that Jordan Miller, he didn't end up getting his career high. He had 10 points in the first half. His career high is 15. I just thought, I don't know, Ty should have given him more minutes. But my overall theme is the second chance points. We got to do a better job rebounding outside of Zoo. And even Zoo, sometimes he could have gotten even more rebounds. But the injury situation. So about James Harden, I'm not too concerned. I do believe it was precautionary, but I guess we'll find out on Friday. If he doesn't play then it's room to be concerned. If I had to bet, and this is no inside source, I haven't spoken to anyone about it. I didn't even know James Harden was out till like an hour before the game. I'm going to say he plays. I'm going to say the rest will do him good. He's going to play. Amir Coffey's shoulder contusion, I have no idea. And missing Terrence and Amir right now would be pretty bad. We need them both. We need the wing depth. And I know Kawhi's on the way. Check out the last episode. He should be coming back soon. But until then, we need some of that wing depth. We can't rely on old Nico. And then I hope this thing with Derrick Jones isn't severe. I mean, hamstring, they're very, very tricky. Very tricky. So, I don't know. I hope he's okay. Mo Bamba's been pretty good for us. Obviously, I don't mind Kai Jones, but he should be playing. The load management thing, I mean, I still hate it. I still think it has not proven anything about work in terms of working and preventing injury. I get it, you don't want to overuse a certain part of your body because it can become more prone to injury, but at the same time, it's all a probability game. And I think I'm fine with James Harden being rested by the team because if you had told me again before the season, no Kawhi for the first 25 games, you're 14-11, I'm like, I'm taking that all day. So at the end of the day, we had a little bit of, breathing room. But, we're going to need some of these guys back. I mean, Terrence Mann's going to be out for a couple of weeks because he has to get surgery on that fractured middle finger. So he can't flip people off anymore. No, I'm just messing around. And Kobe Brown has a herniated disc and will be reevaluated in 2 weeks. That was as of December 4th, so 4 days ago. Then you have Kawhi, who's, getting back on the court. I saw a video of him doing jump rope. So he's slowly getting back to it, but until I hear Kawhi's playing 5-on-5 scrimmages, I don't think it's like we should be ready for him to come back. But there is that rumor that he's going to come back in 8 days for his bobblehead night, but I don't know. I don't think 8 days. I think he needs a couple of days at least. Unless we see him getting on the court playing full-speed scrimmages in the next couple of days. He's still to the point where they ask media not to film him. But anyway, I am not discouraged about this loss. I just hope we're healthy, but a couple days rest will do us really good. Can watch the Emirates Cup and maybe get some other stuff done if you have anything going on in your life. Like, I don't know, some free time for all of us, especially the season ticket holders like me that, commute to the games and stuff. Get a couple days off is nice, And there's some people, though, like, I kind of used to be like this. Now I'm a little different. Like, I can't wait for the next game. Like, for me, it's nice to get days off because then I get to have days off. It's like a job, But I love it. I love what I do. It's the best thing, but I also love the other thing I do more, which is build my own culture. And I got my middle school season starting this week. I got practices. I got my rec season beginning. It's a great time to be doing what I do and doing what I love. And, I love this game. I love this team. I love all of you. And I really appreciate you all. So, good spirits right now. Good spirits. 25 games in. I'm feeling pretty good. 14-11. Get well soon, James Harden. If there's anything there, get well soon, Derek. Get well soon, Amir. Get well soon, Terrence. I don't like doing this. This feels like the old Clippers, and we've been pretty good about injuries so far this year. I hope it continues. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DimeDropperPod. Subscribe to my own YouTube channel, Dime Dropper, for even more LA Clipper, LA Sports, NBA content. I went live directly after this game to talk about it. Let me know if you check out that video what you think. And, of course, Locked On Clippers is free and available wherever you get your podcasts, including YouTube. Let me know what you thought of the game, the episode, the injuries, and more. The age-old... Oh, and the newsletter. Don't forget to sign up for that. It really helps your boy. The age-old proverb continues. Go Clippers. Still, even though we don't have games, by the way, this week, you'll still get episodes every day. The age-old proverb continues. Go Clippers.